clean slate, no shares, no users. Starting over. I can't delete that user, that's the admin. Okay, so I add multiple users right down here where it says add multiple users. And I select import users and then next. And then overwrite, but that's not necessary the first time. Just a good habit. And then I select the import file. I saved it over here. Let's see, the last one today, July 6th. There we go. Okay, this is the first pass. There, let's notice how they are alphabetized. P. Alvaro, Camilo, Carlos, Christian, Vladimir. Oh, that's interesting. That's not in alphabetical order right there. Christian and Vladimir. Enrique. That's weird. I just noticed that. There's the P's and the Q's. So the file that I'm loading is this one. So I don't have the names alphabetized because I created this user Enrique. Let's see if I can show it to you. I have to view. Get rid of word wrap. Okay, now it's not word wrapped, so I can see that there each line is a user that I'm adding. The actual users that are going to be using these users are going to be these 6 or so. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I created Alvaro. No, I created Vladimir in a previous composition of this file, and then I added Enrique afterwards. So that's why they're not in alphabetical order here. But I put the P's, then the Q's, then the R's, then the S. Well, the meaning of P's is that they're private. I was gonna use PVT underscore, but P is good enough. And then I want it to be, then the next one was gonna be shares. But I just went Q's instead of SH underscore or SHR underscore. I just put Q's. And then, so you can see there's a Alvaro, and then there's an Alvaro share with a Q. So this P means that the person that goes by the name Alvaro will use that username, P underscore Alvaro, and use this password to sign in. And then he will get no groups. This is the group parameter. He will get, you could say he'll get access to these shares. P Alvaro, that's himself as a share, and Q Alvaro, that's a share that is visible to others. Well, I have to define that it's visible. And then R ops and then S ops. So R ops is the more private version, and S ops is the more public version. That to Alvaro, these are all read write, but to everyone else, this one is read only. And I define that not in this column, but in what column do I define it? Oh, I have to stick S ops everywhere else, right? No, the people that can write to S ops are Alvaro, Camilo, Vladimir, and Enrique. So they'll have R ops and S ops in this column, the read write column. Then this column is separated by a tab. There's the tab. And I'm using the arrow keys. And then this column is the parameter for read only. That means that Alvaro, the user Alvaro, cannot edit what's in these shares from here to there. So that this will consist of all the other users with a Q in front of them, and any files that are with an S, PQRS. S is share. Okay, and then there's some files or shares that I don't want Alvaro to have access to, and that will be principally all the P's except for Alvaro. P is in private. And then some R's. So that's this column. That's the access denied column that begins right there, and right there, and right there for the different people. Then all these guys from here, let's see, from here down, that have the password, dummy password, I don't want them to have access to anything. So that means, let's see, if I go 1, there's a blank column. Then there's this column for read write. Then there's read only. Then this is the column for access denied. So all these are access denied, and all these are access denied. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is this indented? Because these names over here are shorter, so the tab didn't need to be so wide. Something about that. And there, and each row, each user is assigned a quota, a space, that signifies how big that folder is going to be. So there's a limit to each folder. So I've created, in a sense, I've created this many folders. Each line, let's see, how many lines do I have? Well, I can check my spreadsheet. I can see that I have 18 users, because there's, I could, Okay. 18, it goes down to row 19, but the first row up here is just the heading. So what I did was go from one corner to the opposite corner to select this table. Here's the opposite corner. Then I hit Control C, and then I went over to the text file and selected all, and then Control V as in Victor to paste it, and saved it. And then I went over here and let me go back and cancel and do it again. So I went add multiple users, import users, next import users list. If there was something before, I would want to put overwrite duplicate accounts. I'll leave it on, and then I select the file that I want to upload. That's this one. It's the latest version. And then all I did from yesterday is alphabetized some items in the columns, in the parameters. Although I didn't alphabetize the rows, I alphabetized what was in the columns. So I tried to alphabetize this item, parameter. In other words, get all the items in that parameter alphabetized. So that's, you go P Alvaro, then Q Alvaro, then R ops, then S ops. Oh, that's the read write. Then the deny access. That needed a little bit of alphabetizing. And so then I am ready to go ahead and apply. The 18 parameters, no, users or rows are going to be what is it? What's the word? Applied. So they got created. So P Alvaro got created, and P Camilo got created, and so on. Let's see. P Enrique. Oh, but it's interesting that in here they do get alphabetized completely. So I didn't have P Enrique and P Vladimir, or Q Enrique and Q Vladimir in the right order. Vladimir was coming first, and then Enrique was coming afterwards. But now they're in correct alphabetical order, so this alphabetizes them. But that's something that has to do with the field. It doesn't mean that over here it might be unalphabetized. Yes, here this is the way I submitted them. I created P Vladimir first, and then P Enrique. And then notice after that, the rest of the, could you call them shares? Yeah, the rest of the shares are inaccessible. And that's just for one of them that I was looking at. Which one was I looking at? Oh, for Vladimir. And if you look at each user individually, you'll see that, yeah, all the Q's, R's, and S's share folders are like disabled, you could say. They're actually completely public and a security hazard. So I don't want that. So I want to make them private. Well, make them non-public. I would have to go, where would I do that? I think I'd go to the shares. So I would have to go and select one of these shares, like say Q Vladimir. Let's see, Q Vladimir. And notice that the public is on. I guess all these are on, right? Oh no, look, this one. This one is off. Oh, so the P's are off. Yeah, all the P's got turned off. And what was it? I'm looking at this off. Public is set off. And what's the benefit of it being off? Is that now you can move these. You have access to that that share. That share that I'm looking at is accessible in different ways, or it gives the opportunity for users to have access to that share when public is off, when this public is off. And I didn't I didn't mess with it. Some of them are on and some of them are off, and you can see that the ones that start with Q, they're on, and R is on, S, the ones that start with S are on, right? But I don't want that. I want them all to be off so that I have the opportunity to set them the way I want. But the file that I imported is supposed to do it all for me. So the first time you run the file, it won't complete its task. It'll leave some shares inaccessible. So I have to go back and run the same file again down here in add multiple users. So I click that, then I go to import users and next, and then I overwrite. Here's the important to do that because I already have something created, so I want to overwrite what was created. It won't, because if I left it like that, then it would skip the ones that were already created. But I don't want anything to be skipped. I want it to do it again. So doing it again will make sure that the shares get set. So because the shares have been created, now I'm going to go next and set those shares with different accesses to them. Yeah. So that, for example, the ones that start with P, no, the ones that start with Q, P are okay. It's the ones that start with Q that need to be set, need to get, like, need to be denied access or whatever. Because right now they're inaccessible. So I apply. This is the second running of the same file. The first time it only created all the shares and users, but for some of the shares, they weren't accessible. They were neither access denied nor read write nor read only. They were in limbo, you could say. They were actually in public, but now I've run it twice. And so if I go to any of the Q's or R's or S's, you'll see that before the public was turned on, right? Well, I'm looking at users. That's correct. Let's see, P. Vladimir is a user. So I want Vladimir to have complete access to his own folder and some other things. And I want him to have read-only access to certain shareable folders, so read-only folders. Okay, so here's the shares. Here's the where, remember, when I looked at Vladimir, no, maybe it was Q Vladimir. Remember, it was on, but now it's off. Now everything's okay. I will find that all shares have been set up correctly. See, I can select any share and you can see all the users have certain privileges, certain permissions. The far right, the one with X, are denied access to that particular share that I selected. So let's see, rfin. I know what that's supposed to be like. I want certain people, very few people to see that. And in fact, I don't want anybody to see it except 2 people. And that is correct. Only these 2 people get the right to see what's in our fin. Fin means finance. So only the finance guys get to see what's in that folder. And just randomly select any and see. Well, I could look at that one. The difference between rfin and sfin, S is like share. Yeah, for share, I do want people to see what's in share. So the users are the ones with P in front of their name. So I want all the users to be able to see what's in sfin, S_fin, S as in share. But most of them will be read only. That's the column in the middle. And the column in the first column, the far left column, that's read write. So there's 2 people that are users that are going to be read writing to the share sfin. I could type in here what sfin is about, but right now I won't, because then I'd have to do that for all the others. But so I could go to ops, the share ops, s ops. That one, S means that it's being shared, and most people or some people will get to read only access, and others will get read write access. So it's because it's ops, those are the operations people. So these are operations people, they get read write access. But the other people, like these 2 people, they get only read-only access. they can't make changes. For a little bit of security. Okay, so it worked. This file worked as submitted, but remember that you have to run it twice. The first time only creates the users and shares. The second time it sets what's over here in this area, the what you want blocked, what you want read only, what you want read write, because they're defined in 3 different parameters. You could call it like this. The column D is the read write, column E is the read only, column F is access denied, and then the last column is just defining the size of the folder. So if somebody fills it up, then they'll have to delete some stuff or put it somewhere else or ask to be given more space. So I could go in there and add more space, and the space is right here in this number. That number means 20 gigabytes. Actually, it means 20,000 megabytes, and followed by :0:0. And I'm not sure what use those are for, but it won't work without them. It's supposed to mean the different size of bytes. So maybe it means like the first number was supposed to mean terabytes, then the next number gigabytes, and the next number megabytes, and the next number kilobytes, things like that. But there must be a bug in the operating system, unless I'm doing something wrong. But this is the only thing that when I consider the first number to be megabytes, if I want 20 gigabytes, I have to put 20,000. That means 20 megabytes. I mean 20,000 megabytes. And so you can prove that is so by going to shares and selecting any share and looking at the size. Oh man. No, is it users? Oh, it's users. The users get so much. Oh, so the shares, I'll have to think about whether I need to put 20 gigabytes on all of them, because the shares don't even have a size limit, but it's the users that have the size limit, the quota. But I'm not. I'm only using the users that are going to be using this are only the ones that begin with P underscore and followed by the name. So there's 6 of them right now. P Alvaro through P Vladimir in alphabetical order. But you can see their names over here in this spreadsheet over here. There's the users. Those are the ones that get where their quotas matter. These 4 here. So I'm thinking I could fill a color. Oh, a gray color. So these from here down, they really don't matter. I thought that by giving them a quota, then that would set a limit on the size of the folder. But I don't think that's true. That sets a limit that the user gets. So so maybe I should go here and put zeros. Hmm. I'll think about that and try it out. But now that what I've what I tried to show is that when I created this spreadsheet and then from one corner to the other of this table, copy and paste it into this text file and then save it and then go over here into users and down here click on add multiple users and add them this way and pick up that folder, that file over where I saved it, which is right there. When I do that, it and go next, it loads what's going to be created